This is a Region Sportsdesk exclusive.
I want to get away. I want to fly away. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to get away. I want to fly.
Sportsdesk. This is year 2.
Week 1.
Yeah, year 2, week 1. We're really excited to be back for a second season. And we got a big slate of games to talk about. We're going to tell you who's going to win. So if you want to know, listen to us.
You know, call your bookies. I guarantee this. We're going to win 90% of our games here. All right, Bishop Knoll and Andrean.
Andrean dominates Bishop Knoll, just like they do every year. They're going to dominate this game.
All right, Calumet traveling to Gavitt.
Gavitt was not very good last year, and Calumet was just a little bit above not very good. So Calumet gets the nod there.
All right, I like that. We're going the Trojans traveling to South Bend to play Adams. Bend Adams.
Long bus trip to South Bend. South Bend, these inner city South Bend schools are not very good. Chesterton should have no problem in this game.
All right, let's go to East Chicago Central with new coach Stacy Adams at Hammond High.
I think it's going to be an entertaining ball game. I think it might actually be a high-scoring game. East Chicago has some raw talent at the skill position. At the skill positions, their offensive line has a lot of work to be done. But I think at the end of the day, Antoine McGee has a big day. Hammond High comes up to big.
Now it seems like McGee's been there for years.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Highland at Wheeler.
Wheeler, they're a team. Obviously, we know they've been pretty good in the regular season the last few years. They're rebuilding their whole offensive line. Unfortunately, Highland is rebuilding their entire program.
So I think it's a little bit easier to build an offensive line than a whole program. We're taking the Bearcats. All right, let's go to Hobart at Westside.
Last year, remember, it was a competitive game for a while at the Brickyard. They opened the stadium up almost went with their tail between their legs, but they did find a way to win the game.
That was embarrassing.
They should have a much easier time this year. They're going to blow out Westside.
All right, let's go to Bombers at Kankakee Valley with their new defensive coordinator.
You know what? We went and saw Rensselaer in person. We were pretty impressed with what we saw. KB, they're going to be improved this year. They have Brad Stewart there as a defensive coordinator. They're going to be in a lot more games because I think their defense will be better. However, Rensselaer, they have so many returning starters. I think Rensselaer is going to come away with the victory there.
All right, Lake Station, they're playing somebody, so that means they're going to lose. The Port at New Prairie.
Port, last year they started off pretty nice. Non-conference games, they did a very nice job. Once again, I think they're going to win the non-conference game at New Prairie, but don't get too excited about the slices just yet.
All right, let's go to Lou Wallace at River Forest.
This is a toss-up game. I look at this game. This is probably the most difficult game to pick out of any game on this schedule this week.
Because they're just both is such bad football team.
But I think they're going to go through regulation. It's probably going to be scoreless. Both teams are going to have a hard time moving the ball. Overtime, I think River Forest puts one in. Ingots come out of there, 6-0. Yeah! Win their whole game.
All right, Michigan City. Eric Schreiber starting off his new career there at Michigan City. See if he can come away with the W at Roosevelt. What do you think? Can he do it? Or at Michigan City, actually.
Yeah, I think he will start off his career with a victory. I think they're going to beat Roosevelt big. I like Michigan City to win this ball game.
All right, let's go to the Civil War. South Newton at North Newton.
South Newton is, they've had their much success the past few years over North Newton. They have a better program. South Newton should win this game. I just don't see North Newton winning that.
So the Confederates are going to win this one, huh?
Confederates are going to find a way to win the game.
All right, let's go to Mishawaka Marion, traveling to Portage.
Talked about it on another show. Portage tough, and I think Portage is going to be a little bit more tougher than Mishawaka Marion. Maybe 40 or 50 points tougher.
I like that. LaVille at South Central.
South Central, they also have a new head coach. I heard he's a no-nonsense guy. He's a tough guy. He's going to do his best to turn that program around, but it's not going to happen overnight. LaVille has their number. LaVille wins.
Let's go to a Saturday night game, which these teams don't get very good attendance, but we're promoting them right here on our show. Whiting at Clark.
Hey, playing the game on a Saturday, I think that should bring some more region folks into the game. Remember, Clark, last season, they were 8-1. They made it in our top 10 list. They had a very nice quarterback in Michael Rook.
And Whiting, they got that Division I prospect at wide receiver.
Yeah, Juwan Simmons. So, this might be a very interesting game to watch. I think it's going to be a competitive game. Clark's had Whiting's number the last few years, so I think Clark's going to come out with the victory here.
I got to agree with you. Let's go to a rivalry game. I think it's not really a rivalry game, but, team, they play each other every year. Valpo traveling to Penn.
in years past, it's been kind of a preview of the regional game. I don't think it's going to be the case this year. Valpo, I think they're going to revamp their offense. They're going to go more to the spread attack.
What's this? Robbie Hummel's little brother is now playing wide receiver. Had a big day in the scrimmage, and with that defense returns, is that enough to get over the Penn?
I don't know, because remember, Paul Andrew doesn't have a lot of experience. He didn't, he played in a lot of games, but they really didn't. They really kind of held him back for the most part.
He's good at handing the ball off. We know we can do that.
Yeah.
Who do you like?
I think Penn's going to win this game. Penn's playing at home.
What's the score?
I'm going to say 28-13.
28-13 Penn victory?
Yeah.
All right. Now, this next game was going to be possibly the game of the week.
Yeah.
But some other circumstances happened, like 4
Extracurriculars.
players got, booted off the team. So now this team looks a little one-sided. Speaking of one-sided victory, I believe Morton is going to get the cheesehead lock of the week.
Oh my goodness.
Morton is playing Griffith at home. Morton has too much talent, too much speed. They go ahead and dominate Griffith this game.
Yeah, Griffith loses a guy like Ed Johnson, and really they lost their whole backfield, basically. You're not going to be able to replace those guys that easily. And Griffith doesn't have a lot of numbers this year. I like Morton to win this game big. I mean, they might shut out Griffith again, just like they did week 1 last season. I'm looking probably 20-0. I like Morton big in this game.
Let's go to a couple of NCC versus DAC schools. Some of the 2 top MCC schools playing the lower DAC schools. Let's talk about Munster at Lake Central. Lake Central had their number in the sectionals last year. It's turned into a very good rivalry game here. I like to see it. What do you think? What's your take on Munster at Lake Central?
I was pretty impressed with what I saw with Munster in the scrimmage last week against Portage. I think Lake Central's going to turn things around, and at the outset I kind of thought Lake Central might be able to pull off the upset. I think Munster's going to win this game. Munster's offensive line is too good, and Strawback, the quarterback, I mean, he looked really solid. I like Munster to win this
Me too.
game.
That's why I'm wearing the Mustangs t-shirt, baby. I like the quarterback. They went solid. Defense scared me though, but that was against Portage. Munster goes in, squeaks by Lake Central.
Very good ball game. I think it's a very good ball game.
All right, another good ball game. We got Lowell traveling to Crown Point. Crown Point's one of the toughest stadiums to play at.
I'll tell you what, last 2 years Lowell shut them out, but 2 years ago Lowell played at Crown Point. They got out of there with a 7-0 win, but it was very competitive. I think Crown Point is going to be competitive in this game. I think it's going to be closer. It's going to be a low-scoring game. I think Lowell's going to edge this game out, basically because Warriors and Midget, I think, are going to carry the load here. I think they have just a little bit more talent than Crown Point. Crown Point has a pretty big team, and that's going to keep them in the game. They just don't have the playmakers offensively to beat Lowell, so I think Lowell's going to win.
I agree with you. I think the tides are starting to turn though. I think Crown Point, they're just a hair away from being a contender now. All right, let's go to the big game. Maryville traveling all the way down I-65 to Indianapolis to play Warren Central.
They got a tough task ahead of them. They only returned 7 starters. They bring back Popovich and Denzel Pierce, but they only bring back 1 returning starter on the offensive line. That's going to hurt because, as a lot of you might know, Warren Central, they have some Division I players.
They got 4 guys already signed.
Yeah, they have a defensive tackle that's going D1. They have an offensive lineman that's going Division I. A couple of other guys. Maryville's going to have all they can handle trying to compete in this game. They're going to have to be very aggressive defensively. Whereas Popovich is going to have to play the game of his life because I think Warren Central's going to load up the box to stop Denzel Pierce. They're going to force Popovich to make some plays. And then Maryville's defense is going to have to be aggressive. And the only advantage they have really, they have two things going for them. Number one, Warren Central has a brand new starting quarterback. Maybe they can get after him a little bit. Maybe they can force a couple turnovers. Another thing, it's the first game. It's the first game of the year. So both teams are going to have some kinks needing to be worked out. That's about the only chance I get in Maryville. I think Maryville will get blown out. It's going to be
Yeah, we all know how Popovich plays in big games. He usually plays against a good team and he throws picks. Turnover's going to happen. Unfortunately, I think Warren Central's coming away this game big time. We're talking at least a 30-point victory, I think.
And this isn't the Warren Central team from 3 years ago that lost everybody. They still have a lot of talent. They're still the #1 team in the state. Warren Central's going to prove it. End of story.
All right, well, that's our picks. Let's hear yours.